kitchen, where we bring Middle Eastern cooking to America. In today's show, I'll be making different kind of kibbies. I'll be making potato fried kibbies, rice fried kibbies, and burger fried kibbies. First kibbie, I'll be making potato chop. It's fried potato kibbie. The paste is made by boiling the potatoes until soft. Then peel them. Mash the potatoes using a meat grinder or potato ricer. To the mashed potatoes, I will add egg, cornstarch, and salt. Mix it well into a smooth paste. Small portion of the potato paste is shaped into a ball. Then make a hole inside the ball with your finger. Place some meat filling inside. Close the paste around the filling, flatten, and deep fry until golden. The other kind of kibbie, it's called Kubbat Halab. It's fried rice kibbie. The paste is made by boiling the rice that is seasoned with salt and turmeric until cooked. Drain the rice, set aside to cool. Then place it through potato ricer. Add egg and salt. Take a small portion of rice paste, form it into a ball using your finger, make a hole. Place some filling inside. The other popular kibbie is called fried kibbie. It's Burghul kibbie. The burghul is soaked in cold water for 30 minutes. Take handfuls of soaked burghul, squeezing all water out. Add ground lean meat, salt and spices, mix well. Knead to form a smooth paste. Take a small portion of paste and shape into a ball. Make a hole with your finger. Place some filling inside. Close opening gently, shape into an oval shape, pointed at each end. Deep fry until golden.
Handed down. To some that might mean recipes or the family cottage, but to a farmer it means something more. It means honor, integrity, a love for the land. And when it comes to milk, it means only the freshest will do. From our farms to your table, Michigan milk, because a cold glass of nature's best is pure Michigan.
And pure Michigan milk is Kroger milk.
We'll start our program today by preparing the potato chop, which is the potato fried kibbie. Before we do anything, we have 3 pounds of potatoes here. I like to use Idaho potato. It's the best starchy potato for the potato chop, and it's about 6 to 8 pieces depending on the size of the potatoes. I have some water in the pot, and we're gonna bring the potatoes to boil. We cook it for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes until nice and soft. While we are waiting for the potatoes to cook, we need to cook it all the way until soft. We will prepare the filling. I'll have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in a skillet like this. We'll heat it up until nice and hot. And to this, I will add 1 small chopped onion. We will saute until soft. The onion has been sauteing for about 2 minutes and it's nice and soft. To this, we will add 2 pounds of ground beef. I like usually using lean beef. This is 90% and 10% fat. And we will saute until brown. You see how brown and tender the meat is. We always season the meat with salt and spices after it turns brown, so it will not draw any liquid from the meat and then will tend to dry out a little bit. So to this we will season with some salt. I'm using about 1.5 teaspoon of salt and about 1 to 2 teaspoons of mixed spices, baharat. It's a blend of many spices together. It's black pepper, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon. It's a beautiful blend. And I have a recipe or many other recipes for these mixed spices in my cookbook. We will turn it off and we will set it aside to cool completely before we add the parsley to it. Potatoes is been cooking for about 30 minutes. Of course, we'll let it sit for a while to cool off a little bit. So it will be cold enough for us to handle so we can peel it. So now we will peel it off. We want to peel the potatoes off while still warm. We don't want to peel it when it's too cold because it will be so hard for the potatoes or the skin to come off actually. But it's much easier when it's still warm. Peels right off. The potatoes are already peeled and they are cool enough for us to handle. So now we will use the potato ricer to mash our potatoes actually. We could use the meat grinder or we could use the potato ricer. So all what we need to do is I find the potato ricer much easier and it gives you much finer mashing than the meat grinder. So we will keep mashing all the pieces of the potatoes. You see how easy it is and how practical the potato ricer is. We will let it sit for about 2 to 3 minutes to cool off before adding the other ingredients. Potato is nice and cool now for us to handle. Now to this we will add 2 eggs. We will beat the eggs just so it will be easy to incorporate into the paste. And then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. You want to season with some salt. And then now we will mix everything into a smooth paste. Real easy paste to prepare. Only a few ingredients. The main ingredients, of course, are the potatoes. And you will see how easy it is. The egg and the cornstarch will work almost as a glue to put everything together. And this will help getting a nice paste and nice kibbies when using the right kind of potatoes. So I like to use Idaho potatoes. That's available at Cholagh. It has more starch in it and it will be perfect for preparing this paste. The meat filling is nice and cold. To this we will add ½ cup of chopped parsley. This will give it a lot of flavor and give it some freshness and also some color. But it's optional. If you don't want to use the parsley, you don't have to. Many people I know that they only use parsley instead of using onion and parsley, but this is all optional, whatever you prefer to use. You could use both or one of them. Now the filling is ready. I will dip my hand in some oil because the potato paste is very sticky. And take a small portion, the size of a small egg actually, and then make a hole in the middle, just like that. Go around, take about 1 tablespoon of filling in the middle, bring the sides together over the filling to close everything, and then form it into a flat patty, just like that, and place it on a tray like this. Real easy. Now make sure you dip your hand in oil every time because the paste is very sticky. So try to form it into a smooth ball, and then using your finger, make a hole in the middle. Place some filling. bring it over the filling to enclose. These kibbies are very, very popular Middle Eastern and mostly Iraqi kibbies. They are used as an appetizer or great. The kids love them, great with sandwiches for kids. You can use them even for brunch or for dinner. Making these kind of kibbies might take some practice. So of course, if you are making it for the first time, you might have hard time forming these kibbies, or even hard time filling them. But practice is the key for making these kibbie. The more you make, the more often you make them, the better you will get into making them. And they are very, very flavorful and real easy to make and very healthy. It's a whole meal in one kibbie. Now we have all the kibbies here. We will cover them and they go in the fridge for at least 1 hour. 1 to 2 hours, even 4 hours before we fry them. The potato chop were sitting in the fridge for about 2.5 hours actually, and the oil is nice and hot. We will start frying the potato chop. We will add one at a time always, and we will wait 30 seconds before we add the next one. Especially when the kibbies are sitting in the fridge, the temperature of the kibbie is very cold. So if you add a lot of them, it's going to reduce the temperature immediately. So that's why you have to wait a few seconds before you add the next one. As soon as we see the surrounding of the kibbie is turning brown, we will flip it to cook it on the other side. Look how gorgeous and beautiful they look. Love the color. Doesn't take very long to cook these kibbies. And I believe these are ready to come out. Drain any excess oil using slotted spoon. Place them on a tray lined with paper towel. Potato chop is cooked on both sides. What a beautiful golden color. I will remove it and place it on a tray lined with paper towel to dry any excess oil. They look amazing. They smell so, so good.
Handed down. To some, that might mean recipes or the family cottage. But to a farmer, it means something more. It means honor, integrity, a love for the land. And when it comes to milk, it means only the freshest will do. From our farms to your table, Michigan milk. Because a cold glass of nature's best is pure Michigan.
And pure Michigan milk is Kroger milk.
Now it's time for us to prepare the paste for the rice kibbie, the Kubbat Halab that we are going to use today. For this we need 2 cups of rice that I already washed and drained. Actually, I soaked it in water for about 15 minutes before I drained the water. This will go in a pot like this. Into this, I will add 6 cups of water. And 1 teaspoon of turmeric. This is going to give us that bright yellow color. And also we'll season the rice with some salt, about 1 teaspoon. And we'll place this on the stove. We'll cook it until the rice is nice and tender and all the liquid is absorbed through the rice. While we are waiting for the rice, it's boiling. It's going to take maybe another 10 to 15 minutes for the rice to cook. We will put the lid back on and we'll let it cook. We will prepare the filling that goes inside the kibbie. For this First of all, I will heat 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil in a skillet like this. To the heated oil, we will add half cup of slivered almonds and we'll saute just for a minute or two until golden brown. They'll be nice and toasted and they will bring all the flavor out. And they will be great in this filling, besides the raisins that we're gonna add to. So we'll just try to fry the slivered almonds for a minute or so until golden. Almonds are golden and toasted. I will transfer them back into the bowl. Now to the skillet, I will add another tablespoon of vegetable oil, and then I will add 2 pounds of ground meat. Again, I'm using lean meat. We'll cook it until nice and brown and tender. Meat is nice and brown. Now we will season with some salt. Of course, it depends on how salty you want it to be. There are no rules on how much spices and salt you like to add. You want it to be fairly spicy, but not too spicy. And then we will turn the heat off and let it sit on the side to cool off before adding the raisins and the toasted slivered almonds and the parsley. We'll check on our rice. All the water is absorbed through cooking and it's beautiful. It's nice and mushy and it's soft, and this is exactly how we want it. We want it to be completely cooked. We will let it sit for a few minutes to cool off. In the meantime, we will finish preparing the filling. The meat is nice and cold. To this, we will add the toasted, or actually the fried slivered almonds. And we will add half cup of golden raisins and half cup of chopped parsley. We'll mix all these together. If you don't like to use the almonds, you don't have to. If you want to eliminate the raisins, you don't have to. You could choose whatever filling whatever extra things you need to add to your meat, but the combination of the almonds and the raisins and the parsley with the meat, it's going to give you that amazing flavor for the filling, and I always think it's the best to use for Kubbat Halab. But of course, it's all optional. You don't have to use any of these if you don't like to. The rice is cold enough for us to press it through a potato ricer. You see the turmeric, it gives you that bright golden color, and it tastes so good too. These kibbie are so filling, and so they are so nice as an appetizer, even in a sandwich or for as lunch. To this, we will add 1 egg. We don't need to add any salt because when we cook the rice, we already seasoned it with salt and turmeric. So it should be just perfect. And we will need to mix the mixture to form a soft and smooth paste. Smells so good. I love the turmeric. And we all know how healthy the turmeric is. It's very high in antioxidant, and it's believed to be a good spice to lower cholesterol also, and it has many benefits. And now we are ready to make the kibbies. course, always. The paste is very sticky, so we would like to brush our hands with, or dip our hands in some oil. Take a portion of the paste and make a hole with your finger in the middle. Place some meat filling, about 1 tablespoon. Bring the sides over. And shape it into an oval shape. Both ends pointed. And place it on a tray like this. These kibbies are very famous Iraqi kibbies. Even though they are called Kubbat Halab, which is a city in Syria, but no one knows where the name Kubbat Halab came from, but they are very, very famous and very well-known Iraqi kibbies. Making these kibbies, you'll see many ladies, friends, sisters, they all sit together, catch up with whatever news they have, and they sit and make many of them and then fry them, and most of the time they freeze very well. They'll freeze them, or if they have a special occasion, they all sit and share stories and make these kibbies. So much fun. Now the kibbies are ready to go in the fridge. We need to leave them in the fridge for at least an hour to 2 hours before frying them, and they look amazing. Now it's time to fry the Kubbat Halab. The oil is hot and it's 350 degrees. We have about 2 inches of oil in a heavy skillet like this, and we will add only few at a time. We don't want to reduce the temperature of the oil. By adding many of them at one time, it will reduce the temperature of the oil and they will not fry properly. Will take about 1 minute to cook on each side. They cook real fast. The halab is nice and golden. We will remove it using a slotted spoon to drain all the oil. And I love the color that the turmeric gives these Kubbat Halab. You can add more to make them even more yellowish, or you can reduce the amount to make them pale yellow. Now it's time for us to prepare the filling for the Burghul Kibbie. We have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil here. We'll heat it for a minute or so. The oil is already heated. We will add 1 small onion that's chopped finely, and we'll saute until soft. Onion is nice and soft. To this we will add 2 pounds of ground meat. Try to use lean always. And we will saute until brown and tender. This filling has only 2 ingredients, just the onion and the meat. And of course the spices and the salt. Meat is brown and it's tender and it smells really good. We will season it with some salt, about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and some mixed spices. Mixed spices is a blend of many spices. Of course, it depends on how spicy you want it to be. You can add more or less. We will turn the heat off and we will let it sit to cool off completely. To prepare the paste for the Burghul Kibbie, first of all, I have 2 cups of fine Burghul here that I soaked in water, cold water, for about 1 hour. 30 minutes to 1 hour should be ideal for that. You see how much is swallow, and you need to take handfuls of this and squeeze all the water out. And place it in a bowl like this. Squeeze all the water out as much as possible. All the burghul nice and dry. Now to this we will add 1 pound of lean ground meat, very lean. This is 95% and 5% fat only. You will season with some salt and some Kibbie spices. It's a blend of paprika, cumin, red pepper, black pepper. It adds a lot of flavor to this Kibbie. And we will mix everything together by hand first to make sure everything is nicely blended. Now the meat and the burghul are nicely mixed together. I will transfer some of this into a food processor just to finish preparing the paste. So it will be nice and smooth and soft. We're just gonna process it for a minute or so, just pulse. And that's it. And we will transfer it in a bowl like this. Should be ready to. Now we'll get everything out. Beautiful, nice and smooth and soft. The filling is nice and cold. And now we will prepare the kibbies. We always dip our hands in some oil. We take a small portion of the paste, the size of a small egg, and we will make a hole in the middle with the finger. Place some filling in the middle and bring the paste over the filling to enclose. Shape it into an oval shape, both ends pointed. And that's it. Real easy to work with. Place it in a tray like that. So we'll continue making all the kibbies the same way. These kind of kibbie are great with some salad, or even I like them with some potatoes too also. They make a really nice meal. And you can also, many people like to make a sandwich out of them too, which is great too, with some tomatoes, some pickles. Great to have, and they freeze very well. You can make many of them and freeze them. Well, what you have to do when you take them out, just heat them in a toaster and they will be like a brand new. Now the kibbies are ready to go in the fridge for about an hour to 2 hours before frying them. Now to fry the kibbies, I have about 2 inches of oil in a skillet like this, heavy duty skillet like this, and I heat it up. The thermometer is reading 350 degrees, and this is the temperature we are looking for frying these kibbies. So it's nice and hot. So we will start frying these kibbies. We do the burghul kibbies. We will add only few at a time. We don't want to reduce the heat of the oil to a certain point. So we will add one at a time, and we don't want to overcrowd them in the pan. So probably 4 or 5 maximum in the pan. Anytime we add one kibbie, it's going to reduce the heat, and we want to keep that temperature 350 degrees so we can have even and nice frying kibbies. And you will see it takes only 1 minute to fry the kibbie on each side. We will flip it on the other side. You see how beautiful, nice and golden color it is. And we'll continue frying them from the other side real fast. Kibbie is beautiful. Look at this beautiful color. We will remove it with a slotted spoon like this, drain as much oil as possible, and place it on a paper towel to drain any excess oil. Perfect. They look so beautiful. We will remove the other kibbies. Always use a slotted spoon to drain any excess oil. You will let them sit for a few minutes to cool off before serving them. That's how much time we have for today. In today's show, we made the famous Middle Eastern kibbies. We made Burghul kibbie, we made potato kibbie, and we made rice kibbie. You find all these recipes and many, many more in my cookbook, Treasure Middle Eastern Cookbook. And you see, usually we serve these kibbies with some condiment. There is some cucumber, some pickled cucumbers, just torchy, olive, some cucumber and tomatoes, and some bread. And also it's served with some amba sauce, with some ketchup, or some steak sauce. We hope to see you next time with more exotic dishes from the Middle East. Now you can watch my show every single day, twice a day on MEA at 7 p.m. and 9 a.m. In case you have any of the episodes that you missed, you can also watch them on YouTube. Just go to Samira's Kitchen, and we hope to see you next time with more exotic dishes from the Middle East. لاقتناء كتب الطبخ مالتي، مختارات من فنون الطبخ، Treasure Middle Eastern Cookbook, A Baking Journey، اتصلوا على my email scholagh11@yahoo.com.
Handed down. To some, that might mean recipes or the family cottage. But to a farmer, it means something more. It means honor, integrity, a love for the land. And when it comes to milk, it means only the freshest will do. From our farms to your table, Michigan milk. Because a cold glass of nature's best is pure Michigan.
And pure Michigan milk is Kroger milk.